In our discussion of to do or not to do, should you start a small business? I found an interesting blog uh, titled, well, it was just today I read it, Five Things That Every Home-Based Business Needs. It's very possible that as you start your business, it's going to be out of your home. Many businesses start in the home, in the garage, in the basement, in a bedroom. Uh, every business that I've ever started has been in my home. So from a website, a good one. I just started following this website, this community, and actually it's an Australian community. The website address is startupsmart.com is the domain, startupsmart.com. And today, um, a blogger by the name of Oliver Miman, M-I-M-A-N, actually it was written on Wednesday, but I just read it today, just got it in an email today. Five things that every home-based business needs. Let me read the opening paragraph. Launching a business from home cuts down on the hassles of several things: commercial rents, management of staff and transport woes, just to name a few. Uh, for sure. But if you um, have, if your business startup requires more than one individual, more than yourself, uh, it may get started in your home, and in fact, you might have one or two people coming into your home at one time. Well, I had in 1979, I launched a magazine, started one. I had 15 people on the staff, and I actually rented at that time two houses. The house that I lived in, and right next door to the house that I lived in was the offices of the magazine. So we had two houses, so I always had people coming in and out of my home because I was right next door. Uh, that was a difficult thing to deal with, but it was a decision that I made, one that I later regretted, but it's how I did it then. But people come in, you start in your home. The idea is going to start in your home. So the first thing that you need, so says Oliver, a domain name. If you're working from home, it is likely that the primary marketing and interaction tool you'll have with potential customers is your website. Very true statement. Uh, it is not necessarily a website. It could be a web community of landing pages like David's Barter is, but domain name was very important. Let's talk about our domain name in the community, David's Barter. I created that domain name. Actually, I started with a variation. 5 years ago, uh, I had a website called the Small Business Barter Exchange. Small Business Barter Exchange. And each one of those words very explicit. Long name, but it described very clearly what it is that we did, or attempted to do. That particular website community didn't get too far, because as I was pulling that together with four other websites that I had, small business websites, what I did was originally I created domain names for a central idea. Each domain name was an idea: Small Business Barter Exchange, Small Business Book Publishing, Small Business Portal. Those were my domain names, and I was tying them all together under an umbrella. And as we were doing that, the gentleman, Kevin Smith, who was doing it for me, unfortunately had a stroke. And I was forced into a situation where I had to start all over again. Kevin's doing okay. Got an email from him a couple weeks ago. But we picked a domain name, and for us, a domain name describes what we did. So as I was reinventing our community, I realized that I needed a domain name that was short, something easy for folks to remember, and at the same time drew a picture. And so it actually wasn't too long. It was maybe within 5 minutes. I think I had an epiphany one night, and I rushed down to my computer and bought davidsbarter.com. Short, easy to remember, and subsequently we've been able to build David's Barter into a very, very strong brand. Just Google David's Barter and you'll see the brand that we have been able to build. So domain name, very important to what you do. Now, having said that, to explain how domain names will work in our community, because we have built the brand davidsbarter.com, that's the main part of the domain name. The URL of your landing page becomes / whatever it is that you want to do. It might be your username for it. Well, very simply, the very first landing page that was created in the domain of davidsbarter.com was / SmallBizDavid. That's obviously my landing page, one of my landing pages. I've got many landing pages. In that particular one, and I urge you to go visit it. I urge you to use it. It it has all the technology, all the current technology. If we come up with a new idea, we test it first at davidsbarter.com / SmallBizDavid. So when you come into the community, when you develop a landing page, and remember, if you haven't heard me say it yet, we are offering 10,000 complimentary landing pages, complimentary for 50 days. In those 50 days, you will have an opportunity to start building your brand and to start putting whatever it is that you want to market and sell on your landing page. Complimentary for 50 days. If you want to continue after that 50 days, you see that, geez, this is really working for me. I've been able to create a value proposition, which you must, on the landing page. People are interested. People are coming on my landing page. They're buying from me. I want to continue after 50 days or sooner, because we have a game that we're playing too with our landing page. It's called the Entrepreneur's Fun Game. Between now and the end of the year, the landing page that generates the 8 landing pages that generate the most cash flow, and there's 8 different demographic categories that generate the most cash flow, will share in the 2012 cash flow bonus. And if you want more information about the cash flow bonus and what it means and which one of the 8 groups that you can get involved in or classify, they're sociographic groups. Students of entrepreneurship, baby boomers, military veterans, Facebook small business information, LinkedIn Small Business Barter Exchange, Twitter at SmallBizDavid. Those are our students of entrepreneurship have 3 different categories: elementary school students, high school students, and college university students. There's 3 students of entrepreneurship. If you want to find out more about that, go to davidsbarter.com/entrepreneurs. So the sooner you get involved in our managed optimized bandwidth fee, it's a monthly fee, you can partake and start to qualify for the earned cash flow bonus. Starting a business can and should be fun. And if you want to learn more about that fun, go to davidsbarter.com/entrepreneur. Okay, enough about domain names. Another thing that Oliver says you need is a decent web developer. Actually, to that point, if you start a business in David's Barter community, you don't need a decent web developer. The community has one. And his name is Curtis. And I've been working with Curtis for almost 3 years now. And together we have developed a very, very strong social marketing, social network technology community. And Curtis has been writing code since he was 12 years old. And all of everything that you see in the community was custom designed for the community by him creating the code that enables the activity to take place. So we have the web developer. All you need to do when you come in and start your business is take your value proposition, your idea, your business, your service, and overlay it on top of our technology platform. So you don't have to worry about a web developer. We've got one, and we know that it works. The environment that he's created works, and it works well. And we encourage you to go and create a complimentary landing page for yourself. But if you also need, and you may, if you also need to develop a more elaborate website, it's very, very important that you have a web developer, number one, who understands the concept of business strategy. It is easy to create a website today. Very easy. There's a zillion templates available that all you need to do is put your content in and your page is developed. That doesn't mean it's going to work efficiently, because your web developer, your decent web developer, as Oliver says, is an individual who understands the business strategy and how to have a web community that is responsible to, makes that business strategy work. That's what a decent web developer is. Number 3, Oliver says a home-based business needs SEO and social media. Yes, yes, yes. We have all the SEO that you need. It works for us. There's no reason why it can't work for you. And as far as the social media, we have social media communities that we communicate with. Basically, we focus on, first and foremost, our own, but I have a Facebook community. It's called Small Business Information. I've had it for about 3 years. We have a LinkedIn community, a group in LinkedIn called the Small Business Barter Exchange. And we Twitter at SmallBizDavid. Right now we have about 10,000 followers on Twitter. That number is going to increase dynamically today, as a matter of fact, because he's not my web developer, but Joe is the individual who has installed our community servers in the basement of our home. And he understands the economics and how to efficiently make your server work best for you. So we've got you covered, really. But you might have your own social media communities that you communicate with, others than the one we do, and that's okay. We've made it very easy for you to communicate from our community to your social media. If it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Actually, there's another new share button that Curtis installed, and it also gives you the opportunity with this other, it's a relatively new share button, Reddit. Did you read where the president visited Reddit this week? Caused a lot of commotion there. Blogger, Pinterest, Twitter, we already talked about, Stumble, Gmail, Tumblr, even more. So there's plenty of opportunities to share whatever it is you do in the community with your other social media communities. That was an important concept. So we have SEO and social media covered for you. A dedicated workplace. Number 4. This is our dedicated workplace, our studio. Very crowded. Lots of stuff going on there. Lots of books, lights, cameras. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 computers in our dedicated workplace. This one we use for stickcam.com. This camera we use for YouTube. This we use to show you different things within the community. But if you ever Skype SmallBizDavid while I am live, you will come up. You will see yourself on this computer screen. And then I have an iPad. The iPad I don't use as much on a day-to-day basis. I definitely use it when I leave the office. So you have to have a dedicated workspace. And important to that dedicated workspace is that it is separate from anything else going on in the environment where you choose that dedicated workplace. I had, when I first moved into the studio, we didn't have doors here. Now we do, because it even makes it more dedicated and keeps what's going on inside this room, inside our dedicated workplace. It's very important with all the broadcasting that we do, Stickcam, YouTube, excuse me. Okay, number 5, and the last one. A separation from home life. And that, my friends, is the toughest thing to do. A separation from home life. When you operate a business out of your home, there's a very, very fine line between the business and the home. And sometimes that line becomes invisible. That creates challenges to anybody who is living in that home with you. I have only started businesses in the last 40 years in my home. I don't know what it is to start a business outside of my home. So my challenge has always been establishing the work environment, keeping separated from the home environment. That's number 1. But number 2, and more difficult to do, when do you stop the business activity and get involved in the activity of the family in the home? And that is the toughest challenge. So you need the support, you need the understanding, and you need tremendous communication to make that work for you. It's not going to work for everybody. As a matter of fact, it takes a lot more discipline to work out of your home than it would be to have an office someplace, because of the fact that you can get distracted very easily. When we talk about time management, as I did in the last YouTube, I have very, very good time management skills, so I'm able to accomplish what I need to do in studio, in the workplace. I accomplish a lot of things in the home because I'm here all day. So it's a challenge for me to manage my time and to be disciplined enough to establish the priorities of what needs to be done, write them down so that you can see them, understand them, work them, achieve them. Many, many challenges in working from your home, but it's the only thing I know. I have never had a business, and the office of the business was outside of my home. I've done a lot of things outside of the home. And there was a 9-year period of my life where I spent a lot of time outside of my home office. But you learn how to make those adjustments, and you need to understand how they work and how they work for how they're going to work best for you. We will do one last, for our Stickham folks, we'll do one last commentary on a blog. Does your startup need a technical co-founder? I found that very interesting because of the technology aspects and how we embrace technology in David's Barter community. And there's a very significant part of the relationship between myself and Curtis. I develop all the content, and he develops all the technology. I wouldn't have a prayer to try to do anything in the technology world. He wouldn't do very well in developing content. His focus is technology and writing code, and he gets into his world and he writes code and sometimes forgets about the rest of the things going on in the world. But we'll talk about does your startup need a technical co-founder in just a moment.